An acquaintance of mine was headed to Alaska, and I was kind of nervous to ask, but I took a chance and asked her if she would pick me up some local yarn if she had a chance to. That was all the instructions I gave her. So everything, color, weight, yardage, price, everything was a surprise to me. I'm super excited about what she picked out, and I'm excited to show it to you. I don't know if I will ever get a chance to go to Alaska. It looks beautiful. I think I would enjoy an Alaskan vacation much more than a tropical vacation. But at this point in my life, it just isn't something where it really seems feasible for us to get away for a big vacation. Like I said, I was nervous about asking this gal if she would pick this up for me, but I took a chance and she really came through. So let me show you. So this bag is a little bit crumpled because it did fit in her suitcase. As far as I can tell, this gal is not a yarny gal herself. She went to a couple yarn shops and checked some stuff out. She did tell me that as far as, you know, locally sourced Alaskan wool, there was some alpaca, but that was really about it that she found. And it was your very basic you know, tan, brown, black alpaca. And she did mention one of the skeins was $70. So I am glad she didn't pick up that one. If you haven't seen any of my fluffy butt alpaca yarn videos, I will have those linked for you. But this came from a store called the Patchwork Moose, which is predominantly like a sewing, quilting, fabric shop. And it is in the town of Talkeetna, Alaska. I think I'm pronouncing that right. I did look it up on Google, and it looks like it's a little bit north of Anchorage. It looks very small. It looks very quaint. Like, it looks like a super neat place to go and visit. She did give me a little bit of information about this particular yarn, and when she was checking out, the gal said, now there's only one. You know, I obviously the gal ringing her out was a yarny person and knew that there isn't a ton you can do with just one skein of yarn. So she was like, you know, there's only one, there won't be any more until we shear sheep again. So how cool is that? So let's jump in and let me show you this yarn. It is beautiful. Like I said, I didn't give her any specifications as far as what to pick up. This says hand spun 100% wool from Shady Sheep Fiber Company, Talkeetna, Alaska. And I did try to find like a social media page. I didn't really find much for information at all. I will keep looking before this video goes live to see if I can find something, but if I don't pop something on the screen, I did not find anything. There is a website for the Patchwork Moose, and I did check that out. Again, it is mostly quilting. It does look like you can order some yarns online, but I think they might have only had 2 left. So this was not even available on the website at all. So it really was the last one. But I will have that website linked below if you want to check that out. So this is called Mod. It is 96 yards. It is 4.1 ounces. And it says, it doesn't really say anything else. It just says $36. So as you know, I am a bargain gal, but I just thought, number one, I was so happy that this acquaintance of mine actually picked something up. I mean, that's kind of a weird question to ask somebody. And, you know, she did kind of go out of her way to find a place with yarn, and that was just super nice. So I'm certainly not going to complain about it. And just the fact that, you know, when am I going to get to Alaska? Yes, there are people in Iowa who do the same sort of, you know, shearing and dyeing and spinning. But to me, it was more just the novelty of having it be from Alaska that I was totally 100% okay with this. I won't be buying a ton of it. I certainly won't be buying a sweater's worth. So I'm very excited. So let me show you up close a little bit more about these fibers. So you can see there are some smaller, parts to the yarn and some larger right here. And it looks as though it is 2-ply. And I am wondering if my friend Sydney is watching from Sweet Pea Sid's Inspirations, if she could tell me just by looking at this, um, like how this is spun. She does a lot of her own spinning, so I'm wondering if she knows. So Sid, if you're watching, please put that down in the comments for me. So there are some bright greens and some almost a lime green, a little bit of orange, tiny little bit of white. I don't know if that's runs throughout or if it's just maybe a slightly undyed spot. Some yellow, orange, and like a teal blue and aqua blue. Super neat. Let me slide it out of here and let's get a little bit better of a look. I am quite happy with this. And here's the thing, you guys. This, watch me not be able to get this back in the packaging. All right, I kind of got it back in. So this is super fun. And I'm feeling this, and to me, this does not feel near as scratchy as a regular wool. I mean, it is sheep's wool, so I was expecting it to be woollier, like rougher. And there is no smell at all to this. Like, it doesn't smell like barnyardy or anything like that. With 96 yards, I'm not 100% sure what I could do. I do know for sure that I could make one of those 30-minute chunky beanies that I do like so much, but I kind of want to do something a little bit more special with this yarn. And I would definitely be willing to take suggestions on if you guys know. I am also willing to pair this up with something. So my thoughts where I was kind of going is I thought this might make kind of a neat cowl, like a neat cowl for the fall winter time. And obviously I don't think 96 yards would get that for me. It might be like a little bandana, but not a cowl. And I do have some of this buttercream, which is an older Joann's House brand, I think before they started calling it Big Twist. Buttercream Luxe Craft Roving. There's 115 yards, 3.5 ounces, and it is, they call it the color blue, and it is 100% wool. So it is roving. They call this, I mean, I would guess this to be like a 5-weight. Yep, they're saying this is a 5-weight. And to be honest, that's probably what this really is right here too, but it doesn't have any weight lifted. But I mean, if you're looking at it, that seems about the same to me. So do you guys think these go well enough that I could pair these? I do have 2 buttercreams that I could definitely pair with this. I could put them together. I could do like separate rows of this. In my mind, when I was remembering that I had this buttercream, it was definitely in my mind more of a teal color, like more like the darker teal that's in here. But this is definitely more of a blue. I think it goes, but I have, it might not. It seems like it would. So I would love your opinion, because I have also been looking for a good purpose for these 2 skeins of this wool roving. But I'm not opposed to necessarily buying some different wool to go with this either. Here is like the very end where you can see where it was, what do you want to say, spun, twisted, and she does have a little knot tying it off there too. So I am super happy with this. It did make me kind of curious, if there's, other, I don't want to be like more exotic places, but, um, maybe places less traveled or something like that where it might be kind of cool to pick up, yarn. Or what about like yarn from each state? What a cool idea would that be? I know this is going to be a short video here, but I just wanted to share this because it was a really fun surprise. Again, I wasn't sure this gal was actually going to go and look for it, or if she was just being polite and being like, oh yeah, I'll look. She actually did look for it, so it was a surprise. And then just not even knowing what she'd pick up was also a really fun surprise, which is kind of uncharacteristic for me because I'm not like a huge mystery bag type of person. This Shady Sheep Fiber Company, and it is super soft. And I might check and see. I know I said I'd look for her socials, but I'm going to check and see maybe if she has an Etsy or something like that. But I'm kind of curious as to what the shipping would be from Alaska, if it would kind of make it harder to justify buying. So, hand-spun 100% wool, Shady Sheep Fiber Company, Talkeetna, Alaska. I would assume this is also hand dyed if it is, sheared from the sheep that this woman has. And if it is also hand spun, I would assume that it is also hand dyed. So very beautiful artisan yarn. Thank you for letting me share this with you. Like I said, I know this isn't super long or probably super exciting, but if I get yarn from someplace that I think is super cool and unique, I am going to share it. Thanks for talking yarn with me.